Ever since Kawaki sealed Naruto and omnipotence was casted over the world, Kawaki has been living a lie. He told Ada to inform everyone that Boruto was the one who actually killed the 7th Hokage, which of course forced Boruto to live the life of a rogue shinobi. Boruto is well informed that Kawaki's desire caused his current circumstances, so you might have been thinking, like any normal person, wouldn't Boruto want to reveal Kawaki's lie? Wouldn't he want everyone to know the truth? Why is he trying to protect Kawaki? Well, there's actually several truths to this question. The first and most obvious answer to this question is that Boruto doesn't desire for Kawaki to be prosecuted for his crimes, because that simply doesn't align with his goal of making up with Kawaki and restoring the Uzumaki family. And on top of that, it simply wouldn't bring Naruto back. In fact, it could make things even worse. So this video is mainly gonna be about Kawaki's breaking point, a real point of no return for his character, and what that looks like as it pertains to his mental state. And I actually got this video idea in one of my recent reaction videos. If you guys haven't already watched it, make sure you do. I absolutely love making these for y'all because I feel way more connected to my supporters, almost like I'm literally talking to you guys in the audience. But anyway, in that video, they mentioned the possibility of Ada finding a way to reverse omnipotence, so of course Boruto and Kawaki's lives switch back to how it was supposed to be. And the whole time I'm listening, I'm just thinking to myself, what would Kawaki actually do if he found out Ada decided to do this? I would imagine he wouldn't take it well. He may even try to do something unforgivable to her. Like I mentioned towards the beginning of the video, there's a reason why Boruto won't reveal what Kawaki did. The real reason. Even going as far as to keep his mouth shut when confronting the elders of Konoha, wagering his own life, all to keep Kawaki's secret safe. Now, why is that? Well, for one, it's the reason we all think. It's simply because Boruto wants to restore the Uzumaki family and fix things on his terms. But looking at it a bit closer, we see there's a more important reason Boruto doesn't expose Kawaki. So during Boruto and Shikamaru's conversation, Shikamaru made sure to emphasize to Boruto that he needs him to stay a fugitive a while longer, because he doesn't want Kawaki to feel cornered. Seeing as the effects of omnipotence lies with Kawaki, it's very important to keep him feeling as comfortable as possible in his position, because anything that makes him feel a little pressured can cause him to do more reckless things. So in that aspect, he's like a ticking time bomb. But the only difference is, anything can set him off. Literally, the lightest bit of pressure can cause Kawaki to do some crazy things. And I expressed before that Kawaki was a very unpredictable person. Everything that he's done so far was unpredictable and impulsive. Sealing Naruto, trying to kill Boruto, even his eventual plan to end the era of Shinobi. All of it. Those were highly emotional decisions that he probably didn't think fully through before doing it. So that's why I think if Kawaki is presented with a certain intense situation, it could cause him to do something that he could possibly regret. So the theory kind of starts with Ada, because she was the one who casted omnipotence over the world in the first place. So essentially, if there was a way to reverse it, she would be heavily involved. So let's just say this did happen. Sometime in the future of Tubu Vortex, Ada finds a way to better control her shinjutsu. This would lead to her coming to the idea of helping Boruto to get his life back. Because it's safe to say that Ada still holds feelings of regret from the day that changed everything for Boruto. But obviously, there was nothing she could really do about it because of her lack of knowledge. Until now. But of course, there would be one problem with that, or even her learning to control her power better. Either one of those scenarios could cause this problem. And this problem would be Kawaki. You see, Kawaki's whole plan was to eliminate Boruto while he was just Boruto, instead of Boruto Uzumaki. This way, nobody would care that he disappeared. He'll actually be praised as a hero for doing it, all without facing the consequences for killing Boruto. And we know it's all to protect Naruto at the end of the day, which is the source of Kawaki's anguish, insecurity, and anxiety, but also his source of happiness and will to live. So remember when I talked about how everything to a character meant different things? Like for example, to Boruto, his everything was Sasuke, and of course his loved ones like Sarada, Himawari, and his parents. It was never his own life like Momoshiki had thought. And we see throughout the series, Boruto has expressed a high sense of disinterest when it comes to his own well-being, only prioritizing the well-being of others. So basically, he doesn't care about himself. As long as everybody is safe and his parents are free, he's okay with disappearing. So when speaking about Kawaki, his everything is Naruto and only Naruto. This means that whatever comes up that threatens his ability to protect his everything, he's going to panic and make very emotional decisions. Kawaki's already frustrated enough that Boruto has gotten allies since his return to Konoha. Not to mention Sarada and Sumari aren't even affected by omnipotence. But not only that, he's also gained the trust of the Hokage, so he has to deal with him being alive a little while longer, and the longer he's alive, the stronger his anxiety grows, especially with the looming threat of Momoshiki. But to be fair, Kawaki is thinking logically right now, because he knows in his heart that Boruto isn't an immediate threat to Naruto. Nobody is. Since he's in another dimension, nobody can physically get to him. But they must rid the world of the Shinju because they're more of a threat to Naruto than Boruto is. So he's gonna use Boruto for that cause, and then kill him right after. That's Kawaki's current plan, which so far is playing out pretty nicely. This is why he has seemed rather calm lately. He has a plan, and he knows nobody can get to Naruto. But when we see Kawaki at his worst is when he is uncertain. Uncertain about his ability to protect Naruto, uncertain about his ability to keep threats away from Naruto like Momoshiki, Code, and the Shinju, and most importantly, uncertain about the future. That's when we see him make big decisions that shift the tide of the entire series. And going back to Ada, she wouldn't be safe from Kawaki at all. It might even lead to a timeline where Ada doesn't get devoured by Mamushi or anything practical like that, but instead sealed by Kawaki because of her ability to expose him for the crimes he did. You know, basically just make him go back to being an outsider that nobody trusts, because that more or less interferes heavily with his plan to protect Naruto. And I was thinking about how Kawaki would go about this, because you would think that he would just try to get rid of Ada for good. I mean, he can do it because her power doesn't work on other otsutsuki, so why couldn't he? Well, the short answer is Damon, as you might have guessed. There's no way he gets to do that with him lurking around, unless you put him in an impossible situation, because while sealed, she's not dead. In fact, she's even safe from any impending threat that may cross her way. She won't even age a day in there. Not that that would be a problem anyway. So, like I said, it puts a guy like Damon in the worst possible position, because if he wants Ada back, he can't just kill Kawaki. Otherwise, he would never see his sister again. His only option would be for him to have Kawaki unseal her himself. But of course, Damon knows that he wouldn't do it unless Boruto is gone. So this plan makes it so even Damon can't do anything. And if he's desperate enough, it could cause Damon to work with Kawaki and attack Boruto in order for him to release his sister. So the concept of this plan is basically to, of course, keep Boruto from getting his life back, and to keep the pressure off of him. Because once everyone realizes that it's actually Kawaki who was behind the disappearance of Naruto and not Boruto, it would bring them that much closer to finding out what he did with them. Himawari already knows that Naruto was alive somewhere, just from knowing how attached he was to Naruto. It actually wouldn't take them long to realize that Naruto isn't dead, more as he's being hid. I mean, Boruto already told the elders that he's not dead, so this can turn very bad for Kawaki pretty fast. Believe it or not, this could easily turn into a chain of events where Kawaki truly becomes the enemy of Konoha and destroys it from within. Because with Ada disappearing, people will take notice. One person who I'm certain will figure out what's going on would be Sarada, just because of how close she is to her. So obviously, this puts Kawaki's plan in even more turmoil, because with Sarada now in the mix, it makes it even more difficult to keep moving like he's moving, because he just simply can't pin this on Boruto. Not with Sarada there with evidence that Kawaki is the culprit. So I said this could lead to a chain of events, because just like Ada, Sarada could become next to be entered into the Daikokuta dimension. While it being a much more difficult task for him than Ada, something like that lies in Sarada's fate if she chooses to meddle with Kawaki's plan to protect Naruto. And we've seen from part 1, for Naruto's sake, Kawaki has no qualms about killing someone if they get in his way, as he was going to kill both Boruto and Sarada until Sasuke and Mitsuki eventually stepped in to stop him. You know what I want to discuss now? I want to tell you guys about something else I was thinking as it pertains to Kawaki's demented mental state. because this isn't the worst thing I can see him doing just to keep Naruto safe, not by a mile. So maybe this could be a separate timeline than the one I just discussed. Or maybe his actions from sealing Ada and Sarada could eventually have him go further down a rabbit hole of making people disappear. But now talking an entirely different scenario, let's just say omnipotence was reversed somehow. Maybe Ada found out how to help Boruto prematurely and get his life back before Kawaki was able to try and eliminate him. This will cause irreversible damage to Kawaki's mental state. Let's be honest, if Kawaki was in Boruto's shoes, he would be bound to make a decision that would change his and everyone else's lives altogether. Because him being a target for Konoha, it would already make him feel like a cornered rat. This is where the unpredictability kicks in. Because in order to protect Naruto, Kawaki would simply end Konoha and its shinobi system as we know it. And this consists of an even deeper chain of events of him sealing or even destroying everyone that tries to come after him because of him being behind Naruto's disappearance. But I'm leaning towards him sealing them because as crazy as Kawaki can be, he's not a crazy murderer. I know he definitely has tried to end Sarada's life before, or at least come at her with killing intent because of her protecting Boruto. But even knowing that, I still wouldn't assume he would just kill anyone who stands in his way. A better approach would be to simply seal these people to try and single out Boruto, and then have a final fight with him. And this kind of reminds me of the final scene with Boruto and Kawaki fighting on top of the Hokage monument. What do you think caused this scene? Why do you think nobody else is in the scene except for both Boruto and Kawaki? It's simple. It's because everyone else isn't in the picture. Either they're dead, or by Kawaki's words, sent to where the Hokage is. Now you see, that's how far Kawaki would go. That's the lengths he'll go to ensure that Naruto is safe. Because at this point, it doesn't matter if Naruto is happy or not. As long as he's alive and well, that's all that matters to him. And that's the problem with Kawaki. He's already proven he doesn't care to see Naruto in emotional distraught once he killed Boruto and obviously tried to do it again and again. He knows or thinks it's for his own good. So that's what goes. He's kind of like a bossy parent towards Naruto. Whatever he feels is best for him, he's gonna do it, no matter how it makes him feel or react. I can't say Kawaki has always thought like this, but over time, his mental state has deteriorated heavily. It's to the point where he wouldn't hesitate to destroy Konoha and its shinobi system, a place that Naruto has worked so hard to protect and lead, and it's all just to keep him alive. So this is really why characters like Boruto and Shikamaru have to keep Kawaki's crimes a secret, because this could easily turn into a scenario of him destroying everything and everyone just to accomplish his goals. And I didn't even get to mention how this whole thing could branch off into the other great nations, which could eventually cause Kawaki to decide to end the Shinobi era as a whole. And that's a big possibility, because as we know, that's the whole reason the daimyo wanted Boruto gone, simply because of Naruto's disappearance. And with Kawaki now being accused of this, it puts the attention of even the daimyo of the country onto him. And obviously, if what Kawaki has done to Konoha gets out to the other countries, nobody would take that sitting down. And eventually, this could turn into an international emergency, causing shinobi from other nations, even Kage, to step in to handle the situation. So, in conclusion to that, with political instability like Konoha has right now, it's very possible that other nations get involved. And that could easily be the mental trigger for Kawaki's decision to end the Shinobi era like he claimed to do in the end of Tubu Vortex, or supposedly. So looking at Kawaki from this lens, I can say that Boruto and Shikamaru have made a very good decision to have Boruto keep pretending to be the criminal, and of course for Boruto to protect Kawaki's secret, because if he chose to expose him, it could lead, or let me not say could, because I'm pretty confident when I say this, it will lead to one of the scenarios that I discussed in this video. Kawaki's mental state is just too fragile. If presented with any of these scenarios, he's gonna fold, because when it comes to Naruto, he will always bring out Kawaki's dark, emotional side, and that's just how it is. So what I want to know now is what you guys think. What do you think Kawaki would do if he gets caught in his lie, or omnipotence gets reversed? Would it lead to one of the situations I mentioned with him ending the Shinobi era, or even causing a war? Or do you have your own theories and ideas that you would like to share? Leave all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to read and give my response to as many people as I can. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video and wouldn't mind seeing more like this in the near future, go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another video like this or when I go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.